Let my dot cam, there we go. So the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so pi times the radius squared. So you cannot use the diameter, you have to use the radius. Okay, so if you're given a diameter, you have to divide that by 2 to get the radius in order to square it. Okay, so r squared is not the same as the diameter. The circumference, that's another formula for a circle that you will use in this sheet. Okay, circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, so it is different, and you will be using both of these formulas today as you work through these problems. So in number 1, at the very top there, all we have to do is find the area of each circle. Okay, so 1a is the one I'm going to go through with you. So we want to write our answers as exact and the decimal. So we want both. So for this one, I'm given the radius. Okay, the radius is 5 feet. So to find our area, we'll just plug in 5 for r. So we have pi times 5 squared. Now 5 squared is 25. So our exact form would be 25 pi feet squared. Okay, so that's exact. Remember, exact has pi in your answer. For the decimal, you just have to multiply 25 times pi. Okay, that is 78.5 feet squared. Okay, so those would be your 2 answers for letter A. Again, you want both. You want the exact and the decimal. Okay, questions on letter A? Okay, the other ones for number 1, B, C, and D, you're doing exactly the same. So I'm not going to go over those, and I'm going to have you practice those after I'm done. So the next section that I want to look at, this one has a puzzle at the end. Okay, so it's called Just Plain Geometry. For this section, you want to multiply by 3.14 instead of pressing the pi button on your calculator. That way you'll get the answers for the riddle. So you can multiply by 3.14 for this section. I'm not going to go through number 1. I'm going to go through number 2 in this section. So if you turn the page, because this is the one I get most questions on, it's number 2. And I think you guys can figure out number 1. So in number 2a, we want to find the area of the large circle. Okay, so that's this entire circle here. Well, I have a radius of 1.5 meters. So again, to find the area, that's pi r squared. And r in this case is going to be 1.5. So I can just plug that into my area formula. So I have pi times our radius is 1.5, and that is squared. And again, you can use 3.14 for pi in this section. Okay, so my area for that larger circle will be about 7.065 meters squared. Okay, questions on letter A? Again, that was just finding the area of that circle. Letter B says find the area of the shaded region. Now, if I look at this circle, okay, my shaded region is kind of in this shape right here, right? Well, if I were to complete this circle here and this circle here, they'd make the same circle, right? So I have a shaded one and a non-shaded smaller circle. So that shaded section is just half of your entire circle. So to find that shaded region, I'm going to take the area that I found in letter A and just divide it by 2. So 7.065 divided by 2. And that was 3.5325. Again, that's meters squared since we're finding that area. Okay, questions on B? Letter C says, what is the distance from point A to point B along the S-shaped curve? Okay, so from point A to point B. Do you remember how to find the distance around a circle, the outside part of the circle? What formula is that? That's circumference, okay? And I did write the circumference formula at the top of this sheet. So that's 2 pi r. Well, if I look, again, I have these two smaller circles formed. All I have to do is find the circumference of one of those smaller circles, and that'll be that distance along that S-shaped curve. So I'm going to find the circumference using this 1.5 meters. So you can use the diameter for circumference. Okay, it'd be diameter times pi. The diameter of that small circle is 1.5. So I just need to plug in 1.5 for that diameter. So I have 1.5 times pi. Okay, and that is 4.71. And that's just meters. Okay, not meters squared. Because we're looking at just the distance, not the area. Okay, and then the last one, letter D. What is the circumference of the large circle? So now I'm looking at the circumference of that whole circle. So I can use 1.5 as the radius of that large circle. And again, my circumference formula is 2 pi r. So just plug in 1.5 for r. So I have 2 times pi times our radius is 1.5. Okay, so that will be about 9.42 meters. Okay, so you're using both the area formula and the circumference formula. For some of the problems in this packet here, you will need the area of a rectangle. Okay, that's a parallelogram, so you just need to multiply base times height for that rectangle. Okay, so for number 4, you will need to find the area of that rectangle and the area of that circle in there. Okay, so again, rectangle is just base times height. Questions on how I did number 2 using circumference or area? For the riddle at the end, so I have an answer of 7.065 meters squared. The riddle is right here. Okay, that's the end of this section. It's on the next page. So I would look for 7.065 meters squared. And you want to just cross off that entire line. Okay, so once you get the answer, just cross off that section. So that was one of them. The other one was 3.5325. That's this H right here. Cross that off. 4.71. That's this one, this F. Okay, and then the last one is 9.42. That's this last number. Okay. So that's what you do once you find those answers. You just cross them off. Okay, questions on area of a circle? Okay, then I do want you guys to continue practicing. So going through each of the problems, start from this section, okay, and then go on. I do need you to be working on this. It will be due tomorrow. Okay, so ask questions if you're lost on any of the problems, but you are using your area formulas for a circle, circumference for some of them. So if it asks for the distance around a circle, that's circumference. Some of the problems you will have to find the area of a rectangle. Again, that's base times height, okay, to help you out. So get started on that and then raise your hand if you have any questions, and I'll help you.